Hello everyone, and welcome to the 155th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me as always is my friend, co-host, and internet haver once more.
Ooh,
Frederick.
Once again, back to the modern ages.
Yeah. I mean, it won't make much of a difference to the pod listeners, but we've been dealing with technical difficulties for months now of having to...
Exactly. In the form of, in my new flat, I have not had any internet.
Yeah. Slight problem
I haven't been here for all of summer, so it hasn't affected me that much. But when I got back, I was like, okay, let me just order the Wi-Fi, because in the last place we had, I ordered it, and it came within a week. I called them up like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll get that sent out to you. And then the next day they call me and they go, yeah, so your building doesn't have any fiber lines. It's like,
yeah, so
brilliant.
You live in the Stone Age.
So you're back in the medieval ages, sir. So then they had to like send out an engineer and stuff. But finally,
we're back. We're back, baby. So maybe
no more FaceTiming.
Yeah, perhaps it'll be slightly better connection. Perhaps it'll be worse. Maybe you won't even notice. Frankly, I don't care. No. Yeah, today we are revisiting a classic series on this channel that we haven't done in 8 months. We're going to be doing a versus episode. Ooh. So, in case you don't know, this is the series inspired by the Weekly Planet. I always have to put that disclaimer out there, lest we get sued by Mason.
Not Mason.
That we take two characters, or real-life people sometimes, usually of the elderly variety. I don't know why, but we have a fascination with pitting two old people against each other.
Who breaks down the fastest?
And we say who would win in a physical altercation. It's not hard to understand. It's a pretty basic premise.
No, it's pretty easy.
So there are time codes down below if you want to skip around. Before we get into it, I have a little classic. We've started kind of opening these with some anecdotes sometimes. And I have
Don't tell me there's a BHL Hudson anecdote
you
on
best
the way.
believe it's BHL Hudson Anecdote Hour, everyone's favorite program.
Everyone's favorite time.
Everyone's
so
favorite.
What did you do yesterday, honey? I had a great time listening to BHL Hudson's anecdote, and I can't even say it now. Anecdote.
It's so damn cool. It's not a crazy thing, but I thought you would find it extremely, what's the word here? Nutty, perhaps? Because I'm taking for part of my film thing, as some of you know, I'm in Ireland studying film, and one of the modules is like an Irish film culture kind of class. Okay. And so for the introduction, they were presenting us with like various examples of how Ireland is depicted in film over the years from an American and British perspective mainly. And they did show a trailer for a film that came out only 2 years ago. That actually might be Irish, so I don't really know, but it was basically an example of like a super stereotypical Irish like portrayal for like an American audience or whatever, even though it is made by an Irishman, I think, so strange. But anyway, it is a rom-com, and it just got progressively more and more what's the word? Just horrific, I guess you could say, where so it stars Jamie Dornan, of course.
Playing he is an exceedingly nutty man.
And he's like kind of playing against type. He's a bit of like a shy, kind of goofy dude. And he's trying to woo Emily Blunt. I don't know what the correct terminology is. But he's trying to impress Emily Blunt, and they're having a bit of a will they, won't they, whatever. Then his father is an Irish accented Christopher Walken, who is giving him some fatherly advice. And then if that wasn't enough, if you thought we'd hit peak nuttiness here, the big thing thrown in there, the big spanner in the works, that Jamie Dornan's cousin comes around from America, and he's kind of impressing Emily Blunt. It's like, ooh, what's happening here? And his cousin is, of course, John Hamm.
Oh my goodness!
And I was just sitting there.
Called?
It's called Wild Mountain Thyme, but time is spelled Thyme, which I assume
Wild Mountain Thyme.
Herb or something. It's apparently also god awful. I actually didn't think it looked that bad, you know. I thought
so you didn't watch the whole movie?
No, we just watched the trailer, and I thought it looked kind of delightful in a way. But And afterwards, he was like, "Yeah, you can see how they represented Ireland, and it was all very like stereotypical and whatnot."
Interesting.
I was like, I couldn't.
So
even...
does Emily Blunt also play an Irish woman?
I think so.
Is she rocking an Irish accent?
Possibly, dare I say?
God,
but
that's so
I couldn't even
strange.
pay attention to the academic part of it because I was just
Because John Hamm was there trying to woo her.
I was focused on John Hamm showing up and being the ultimate cucker of a cousin. So anyway, just thought that
what a
needed
strange
to be...
title to have. John Hamm, cucker of cousins. Cucker of cousins, sniffer of...
Panties. Okay.
My name's John Hamm, sniffer of panties. Instant arrest?
Instant hiring for every role. But anyway, so yeah, that was just the highlight of my week.
I understand.
Yeah, clearly. And there was actually another thing, a little bit of a club story, but maybe I'll save that for the next time, or maybe just an off-pod kind of thing.
Speaking of cucking of cousins.
Anyway, so should we just jump into? Wait, did I just turn you off? Oh no, there you are. Should we just?
You could never turn me off.
Jump into some versus matchups? Which, to be clear, I have nothing
Absolutely.
planned. So we're kind of gonna roll off the top here, which I'm sure will make for some great content. And also towards the end, we can maybe hit the thing I think we did in the last one of these, where I say one and you say one at the same time, and we have to argue.
Ooh,
our
I like
case.
that. I like it.
So, let's start off first, though, with an appropriate matchup, considering what we were just talking about. I'm going to say Buddy from Baby Driver, John Hamm's character from Baby Driver.
Okay.
Versus, I can't really go Jamie Dornan's Mr. Grey, because it's not really a fair fight.
Because Mr. Grey would just absolutely whip him.
Mr. Grey would tie him down and make him love it.
God.
Who could be a good matchup?
All right,
for
buddy. What I'm gonna do now is tie you down, and you're gonna fucking love it.
Williamson, fuck you, buddy.
Bananas.
Buddy from Baby Driver versus. God, I should have planned this. Who's like a
Dormammu.
Billy Butcher. I did it. I did one.
I thought you were gonna say, "Fuck it, Billie Eilish."
Billy Butcher versus Buddy from Baby Driver.
Interesting. All right.
What are we feeling here?
Let's talk attributes here.
Yep.
Buddy, taller,
Yep.
arguably more handsome.
Yeah. Fair. I'll let you have that one.
Okay, I agree. He's attractive. Gunplay, probably. Oh, so how are we like? What is this fight? Is it like a fist fight or is it?
It's a fist fight.
Anything goes.
It's a fist fight. But if one of them happens
All
to
right.
have a shiv on them, but if one of them happens to have an assault rifle, then.
But if one of them happens to be in a tank, then fair game.
I think they're in a car. Oh, I'm sorry, you can hear stuff in my hallway. They're in a car park. Hand to hand wise, I'm gonna say Butcher probably has the advantage. Was Butcher in like the army or something?
I do feel like Butcher's got more grit than
yes, and I mean,
Ham.
Buddy,
Ham does seem like, while he's a badass, he does seem like a little bit of a spoiled rich boy, if you know what I mean.
well, he's as some would say from Wall Street, making him a bigger crook than I could ever fucking be, and he is kind of just like a coked up crazy person who's still scary and tough, but also Billy Butcher has fought against like superhumans and held his own and not died. So
I will say that Billy Butcher does heavily rely on luck, and when you're pitted against John Hamm, luck is out of the question.
luck is not on your side. Yeah, but I think we'd have to go Billy Butcher because just experience, grit, and overall just tactical like skill. Like John Hamm's scary, but also he's coked up and sort of just like
Yeah, I guess I agree with you. Also, but I mean, and in this scenario, Billy Butcher does not have his laser beam eyes, I assume.
no, he does.
Okay, that is still a very close fight.
We're gonna go Billy Butcher.
Imagine Buddy and Butcher just intense standoff, and then out of nowhere, Buddy's just completely sawn in half by a Billy Butcher ray.
Go ahead. Give me one. Hit me with one.
Well, so I'm thinking, should we make it completely random? Am I going to hit a little random movie character?
Well, I think you should
Generate.
maybe only randomly generate one of them and then think of an appropriate opponent, because otherwise it's going to be kind of just...
Okay, we got Ooh. No, I mean this is a pretty good matchup. I'd say. We've got Tyler Durden from Fight Club
Okay.
against Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters. That being Bill Murray's character.
We cannot. You think any of these are gonna fly as a thumbnail? That would be a great thumbnail, actually.
Just Tyler Durden slowly swinging towards Peter Venkman.
Can we maybe do Peter Venkman versus
Tyler Durden?
How about? Ooh, I got a good one that's forming in my head as we speak.
Ooh, okay.
All 4 of the Ghostbusters versus
The female or the male?
the male versus what's another group of 4? The Fantastic Four. Perhaps the Ghostbusters versus the Mythbusters. Sorry. Epic rap battle of history reference. This is such a terrible episode. We really should have planned this slightly. Who's comparable to the Ghostbusters? Like the
Okay,
Breakfast
okay.
Club?
What did you say?
The Breakfast Club? I'm trying so hard here. I'm so sorry, guys.
All right.
We're gonna fix. We're
The
gonna fix
Breakfast
this.
Club, the 5 Breakfast Club kids. I think it's 5 or
versus
6.
the Ghostbusters. I'm here for it.
Versus the Ghostbusters. Okay.
Because
So
the Ghostbusters have like weaponry that can, like create explosions, but it's mainly ghost based.
it is, and unless one of those Breakfast Club kids is a ghost, I say that nullifies it.
I really hope none of those actors have died since the 80s, because I feel like that would come across as very insensitive.
That would be.
But oh well,
That would not be good.
we move.
But oh well, we don't know, and we hope not.
What we don't know can't hurt us.
I think.
And
So they've got the old man strength.
But
Just
they're
look
also-
at Bill Murray. He's insane.
Are we talking 80s Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters Afterlife Ghostbusters? Yeah, we're talking 80s Ghostbusters here. They're just kind of like schlubby, out of shape, like repairmen.
Are we talking 80s Ghostbusters?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like they were in their 80s.
No. From the 80s Ghostbusters. If the kids are fast enough to get past the laser beams, then
That anything goes.
Then I think, yeah, I mean, the cool guy, whoever the cool guy was, he could beat the shit out of them. Or they're also in detention. There's some
Well,
bad
when you say
kids.
the cool guy, do you mean like the cool kind of like badass like detention guy, or do you mean the jock?
Both. They both go for Bill Murray. They just beat the ever-loving fuck out of him. Venkman down for the count.
Venkman's out. Throw in the towel.
They're just elbowing his face in. I can definitely see, because they're also they're bad kids. They're rebels. They're in detention for like being cool, and so I'm sure one of them's probably in detention for fighting, right?
You sound like you worship the Breakfast Club kids. They're bad dudes. However, cool kids in detention.
So I am heavily inclining towards the Breakfast Club kids, but one of them probably dies at the hands of Egon. Like he probably shoots them with a ray or whatever. But I'm gonna go with the Breakfast Club there. Big win.
Ooh, You know what? I'll probably agree with you, even though like they do have that old man strength. Not the Breakfast Club. They've got that young boy strength.
Right.
But yeah, I'm gonna go the Breakfast Club as well.
All
Also
right.
because they got the numbers.
They do outnumber them very much so. I have a good one.
Ooh.
Almost as good as Venkman versus Tyler Durden. We're thinking Thanos
Versus Venkman.
versus present day Venkman versus Darkseid. There you go. That's a thumbnail and a half right there.
God,
Give me
this
that
got
money.
so professionally nerdy all of a sudden. So I don't know the lore here. Darkseid, I imagine. So is this Thanos with the gauntlet or without the gauntlet? Or
It'd
just
have
a
to be.
few-
It'd have to be. Oh God, they found me. They know my
Goodness,
Venkman.
I asked too
crimes.
good of a question. Who would win, Thanos or Venkman?
Yeah, it's Thanos with the gauntlet, definitely. Because otherwise he's
With the gauntlet.
he's fucked beyond belief.
Does he have all the Infinity Stones?
Yes.
Oh, well then, Thanos, no?
No, absolutely. Well, I guess if he snapped, I guess he could probably. Okay, let's say he has all but one of them, so he can't snap. He's missing the reality stone.
So his Jas ability are compromised.
I think, okay, if you give them no weapons, Darkseid is the more
Darkseid absolutely
powerful.
destroys, right?
Yeah. But he also, with weapons as well, Darkseid has, I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's called like the infinite stare or something. It's like,
He learned it from Zoolander.
it's the Omega Beam. God, what am I saying? Obviously, it's the Omega.
He's got
Beam.
the Infinity Stare. I meant the Omega Beam.
Easy to confuse. But where, like, remember that thing in the Justice League show where he, like, shoots the beam and, like, it tracks you down throughout the universe and it can't be avoided? Except for that one time Batman very easily avoids it, so it's kind of slightly defeats the purpose of it. But I don't know. Remember when Thanos had all the stones and he shot it at Thor or whatever, and Thor still just got through it with his axe? Like,
I do remember that.
so it can't be that fucking epic.
Yeah. I mean, I think in terms of raw power, Darkseid definitely wins. Right?
And also intelligence. I'm just saying, battle IQ. Thanos is a dumb motherfucker. He made so many.
What about Darkseid's hacks? Whatever that means.
Yeah, we're doing those versus thing, the shorts
Those
on
versus
YouTube.
TikToks.
More bald.
Best at shaving their newt sack.
But by the way, that would definitely be Darkseid with that Omega Beam.
Darkseid just looks down. You cannot not be caught in this Omega Beam. Completely chars his fucking testicles.
I think all the one not quantifiable thing here is that classic like comic book thing of like, I think this weapon could beat this weapon, but there's no fucking way of knowing. But I think if we're just assuming they're at similar-ish power levels, I think all the other advantages go to Darkseid. So I'm gonna have to pick,
I think so
pick
as well.
my boy.
Yeah. I'll take your boy Darkseid as well.
Take your boy.
All right. I don't want to lie. I have generated one that is very good, I think.
Okay, I'm here for it.
But it also made me laugh.
Okay.
We've got Michael Corleone from The Godfather
Ooh, okay.
versus Marcellus Wallace from Pulp Fiction.
Now that is a good one. See, if we were talking like a mob off, that's an intense battle.
This gives me heavy Pitch Perfect vibes. It's time for the mob off.
It's just a series of kneecappings all around. I mean, if we're talking a fist fight, Marcellus Wallace would fucking murder him. Are you kidding me? Marcellus Wallace is 90s Ving Rhames. Corleone is like super badass and intimidating, but he spends most of that first movie in a hospital bed. So like, I mean, I'm thinking if we're just talking a fist fight, I don't know. I haven't seen Godfather 2, so maybe if we're talking a young Corleone, a Pacine Corleone. Actually, no,
so that's the picture
Corleone,
I've got right here. Is the Pacine Corleone.
Wait, but Pacine isn't. Oh, wait. Did you say Michael Corleone?
Yeah.
Isn't Michael Corleone? Oh, fuck me. I'm thinking of Vito Corleone. My bad. I'm an idiot. So you can see now why I thought Marcellus Wallace would demolish him.
Yeah.
Imagine Marcellus Wallace taking on a 60-year-old
slumbers
Marlon
into
Brando.
the hospital and just fucking the people's elbows. Poor old Corleone.
Michael Corleone. That's a better one. The Pacine, because he's a bit of a tough guy and he has the killer instinct. I think blow for blow, Marcellus is still better. I gotta give it to Marcellus because he
I think I'll also give it to Marcellus just because he's a beefy boy.
He's a big boy. But if either of them had like a small weapon, like maybe a knife or something, I think Michael might be like wily enough to work his way out of there.
Michael do be wily.
All right. Let's see. That was a good one, though. Let's see. I'm going to go with She-Hulk versus Mike Ehrmantraut. Let's see.
Versus old man Hector Salamanca.
Who would be an appropriate matchup? Perhaps She-Hulk versus Black Canary.
Ooh.
Big brain take right there. You're welcome, America. What are we thinking?
So, let's see.
So, She-Hulk advantages. Mid. No, So
Twerks with Megan Thee Stallion.
bad CGI. I mean, obviously She-Hulk has strength advantage, size advantage, green
I assume
advantage,
stamina advantage.
Black Canary, I guess, only has that scream.
She's only got that loud ass voice of hers, which in fairness I don't think could even
Probably wouldn't
incapacitate.
affect. No, I think there's one part in She-Hulk where like Ruffalo like claps at her, and then she's like kind of discombobulated, but then she works through it, claps his cheeks at her.
I have actually seen that.
Yeah.
I've watched a few episodes of She-Hulk now, and I have seen where she actually just
you've watched some episodes.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
where she completely bamboozles Ruffalo, just starts clapping in his face, and he just like drops to his knees in agony. I was like,
Have you seen the meme where they added the fart sound effect to that? It's very good. But I think also, Black Canary has, as we were just talking about the classic Pacino wiliness, she does have that evasive slipperiness. And, She-Hulk, especially in the show where her CGI is so bad, very cumbersome, very like lumbering by comparison to a Black Canary. So I think if Black Canary was on her top game, she might have.
She might not lose too badly.
She might only break.
I'm still gonna give it to She-Hulk.
I mean, I guess
She-Hulk
you gotta. Yeah, she could probably break her spine if she really wanted to.
she really was going for it. Okay, I've generated one here.
All right.
One of the characters I don't really know because I haven't seen the movie, but we've got the Terminator.
Okay.
So the T-800.
Okay. Arnold.
Arnold. Versus Rick Blaine from Casablanca.
Is Rick Blaine the main guy from Casablanca?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but he's got Rick's Cafe.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it's your boy Humphrey Bogart.
Okay,
just kind of like a
we don't have to do that
alcoholic.
one because Rick would obviously win immediately. However, I do have the Terminator T-800 versus Groot.
Ooh.
We've got Groot and
That's a good one.
What can I say?
Two pretty unstoppable forces. We're still talking about Rick Blaine, right?
We're still talking about Rick Blaine's reputation, an unstoppable force in the showbiz.
As an amazing cafe owner. That's a solid one. What are you thinking? On this one?
So, I mean, again, I haven't seen many of the Terminator ones. I know that Groot can grow all his trees out and stuff like that. It seems that the Terminator is very difficult to kill, but I think he would be rather easy to Hulk could just I'm not Hulk. I mean, Groot could just ensnare him with all his roots and just kind of leave him there.
The classic Groot roots.
What do you say?
It does not bear repeating at all. I said the classic Groot roots.
It sounds like a good blues band. Yeah. So I reckon if it came into a fist fight, I don't think either of them would really get anywhere. But if one was just to try and capture one or kind of incapacitate them, then Groot is absolutely Beastie Boying it up.
Yeah, I'm also thinking if the Terminator can how he has all that when he takes his hand off that one time and he has all the mechanical wiring or whatever. If Groot can somehow get himself into those wirings, one could say get up in them guts, and he can move his.
So so what you're saying is you want Vin Diesel to get up into Arnold's guts.
I'm not saying I don't want that, but if he could, how he can extend his fingers, Groot, whatever, and have the Groot roots, and if that could go in between the system fragments inside of him, I feel like that could be a good incapacitation.
Slight Ant-Man in Thanos' anus. Thanos.
Little bit, right in the Thanos. I mean, yeah, because the Terminator, his only real chance is to gun him down, and we've seen Groot can just grow back or grow extremely heavy treeage in front of himself. So I think that might actually be a pretty strong win for the Grootster.
I think I'm gonna have to give it to the Grootster as well.
All right, I kind of have one. I'm trying to think. Also, sorry about my voice, by the way. I realize it's a little bit annoyingly, like...
I'm a little gravelly. Kind of a big boy.
A little gravelly and kind of like Batman, if you think about it.
I am vengeance.
I'm going Abed Nadir from Community versus Dwight Schrute from The Office.
Ooh.
See, that's a good matchup.
See, now, I've not seen much of Abed, whatever. Abed
Nadir.
Whatever his name
Put
is.
some respect on his name.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Yeah, there's the respect I needed.
Good call.
But from looks wise, Abed is a little shriveled man.
Well, I guess he's not. If we were to put them on a scale, probably Dwight would come in a little heavier than Abed. This is somehow insulting to both of them. I'm sorry, but just
Dwight would have to lose many pounds to fight in that weight class.
But he would have the size advantage. And to be fair, Dwight does do like karate and martial arts. But Abed, he kind of has like an ability to like. You know how the scene where he like becomes super smooth and does like his Don Draper impression, and he can just kind of like adapt to be a certain way. So I feel like if he like watched enough martial arts tutorials or something for a day, he could like adapt all of the skills. You know what I mean? I'm really looking for an Abed win here. I guess Dwight probably does.
I think, but Dwight also does. He does like karate, doesn't he?
He does, but also we've seen him fight, and he's.
I mean, he's terrible.
He's
but
terrible,
at the same time,
but he might be better than Abed Nadir.
And he's definitely also smarter tactically, I'd say.
No. Yes, actually. If you can prank James Halpert, then you are at a...
Then the
but
sky's the limit.
Abed also has some very intense schemes. This is the hardest one to date. I'm going to go with Dwight. I think Dwight probably takes it on a purely physical level.
All right, you know what? Forrest Gump versus Peter Venkman.
I mean, we have a war hero versus Peter Venkman.
I thought you were going to say versus Forrest Gump.
Peter Venkman is the opposite of a war hero. Peter Venkman is a war criminal.
I've got probably the grossest picture of Venkman as well right here. I'm going to try and save it. To save it and show you.
Not the grossest Venkman.
And there you have
Oh my god. It's so gross. Absolutely super unflattering rendering. Oh my god, they put so much emphasis on the wrinkles and hairline. That has got to be one of the most unflattering. I would be so upset if someone drew a picture of me like this. He looks
I'd be so upset if I looked like Bill Murray ever.
He looks like such a ghoul. All right, should I hit one?
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna go with. Okay, I have one of them. Who would be a good match for? All right, how about this? We're gonna go Han Solo.
Okay.
Versus Hobbs from Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay, I see.
See, you could go more like Han Solo versus Gandalf, but I'm gonna go with something actually fascinating. Who would win?
I don't know why Han Solo versus Gandalf was like a generic pick.
Actually, that's a way better choice. Perhaps one for later, but
against Hobbs.
Yeah,
Big Dwayne.
Is
this even a question?
I don't know. Which way are you going?
Harrison's absolutely getting destroyed.
Okay, well, because Harrison has guns. Harrison has laser guns.
But no, we're taking away the guns.
Well, okay. If we're just talking 1970s Harrison Ford with his like mullet versus 2022, I don't want to say roid monster. I would never accuse Dwayne of that, but unusually large man, suspiciously enormous Dwayne Johnson.
He is so huge.
Okay, what if you give Han his blaster? Do you think a blast would even hurt Hobbs? Or would he go...
Depends if it hits any vital organs,
well, yeah,
however...
If it hit him in, like, the shoulder, probably.
That's the problem with being Hobbs and Dwayne in general. If someone's going to shoot at you, you are an enormous target. They're definitely going to hit you.
That's true. It is kind of very difficult to miss you. I think if he somehow... And Han is, like, the best shot in the West or whatever... If he can make it past a blast, then he squeezes him to death in his bare arms.
God, that sounds like it could be both a fight or also just like a weird, dirty sexual deed.
Yeah.
If he makes it past the blast, he can squeeze it out of him.
But okay, so I guess we'll go Hobbs. No, we gotta go Han, because otherwise she's
What? How's Han winning this?
Well, he has a gun.
No, well, okay, Dwayne, he can lift benches.
That's
you
true.
Throw
He
a
could
bench at him.
block it with a space bench. All right, we're going Hobbs.
With a space bench. All right, let's see here. Ethan Hawke. No, not Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hunt, sorry.
Present day Ethan Hawke filming the show Moon Knight versus Thanos.
Walking around with glass in his shoes.
Classic Hawk move.
Again, and completely unscripted. They're like, Hawk, what's going on here?
This is a weird.
I live for this role. Hawk, you're thinking of a completely different character. So Ethan Hunt from the Mission Impossibles,
right,
versus Katniss Everdeen from the Games of Hunger.
Ooh. Okay, does Katniss have weaponry? Do either of them have weaponry? Does Cruise have a mask? Can Cruise disguise himself as Rue, perhaps, and then sneak his way in there?
God, imagine that. Rue, but full on Tom Cruise body.
Like, it's a perfect mold of the face. It's completely just her, but then it's just Tom Cruise's body sprinting towards her. No hair either. It's just the face. She's like, well, I think that's Rue.
No, so imagine it's just Tom Cruise as Rue lying, pretending to die. Katniss like crying. And Rue just takes off the mask. And just...
The theme song breaks in.
Okay. No, okay, so okay, so hear me out. Katniss has a bow.
Cruise has an assault rifle.
Cruise has a peg.
Ooh. Well, what would Benji do? I mean, Benji would just be like making witty commentary. I'm sorry, but Cruise could absolutely evade Katniss Everdeen's arrows.
You think so?
How far away is she? If she's like, if there's any time, if there's like a 1 second window between firing and hitting, Cruise is so fast. He's got the reflexes, man. Also,
okay, so Cruise is 100 meters away in this scenario.
I guess he has to get close to her. Well,
and he has to do his Cruise sprint towards her. She can shoot
that is
4
a very
arrows
clear
in
target.
that time. 4 arrows in that 100-meter sprint he's got. Is he making it?
Because if he makes it, he would win.
Yes, absolutely.
So does he make it? Is he allowed to use Peg as a human shield?
I will allow it.
I guess he wouldn't. I guess he'd never do that.
I guess that's against morals.
I guess murdering his best friend in cold blood wouldn't sit super well with him. I guess it'd be pretty hard to get past 100 meters worth of a really good archer shooting at you in open space. If anyone could do it, I think it'd be Cruise. Can Cruise does he have the option to like crash in on some kind of very dangerous vehicle, like a helicopter or something?
Can Cruise crash a wedding in this scenario, please?
God, I would love it if Tom Cruise crashed my wedding. I don't think he can make it past that. But if we take
don't think so. I think he could weave.
If we give her a short range weapon like a knife or something, which like is not at all her weapon.
All right, so Katniss Everdeen, famous archer. Let's give her a
perhaps
let's give her a penknife. See what happens.
Yeah, I guess I don't like this at all. Okay, fine. I guess we'll go Katniss, but I don't like it. But I feel like Cruise would also think of a way.
I feel like Cruise could win this, you know.
I feel like Cruise would put a Cruise mask on Benji and like have him distract her. He'd sneak up behind her in a Benji mask, in a Rue mask, just for no reason. It doesn't even help. Just for
Katniss does not even see it coming. He punches her in the back of the head before she sees, but he knows that it was a good prank, that it was a Rue who did it.
And then he'd get her. Yeah, no, Cruise and Peg would outsmart her. Boom, we've done it.
Okay.
All right, how about this one? Voldemort versus Darth Vader.
Ooh, that is a good one, you know.
Thank you.
So Darth Vader, he's got the Force. He's got a lightsaber. He's pretty cool. He's got a Batman-esque voice. Voldemort, kind of gross looking, honestly. Won't lie.
Yep. Bit of a testicle
but he's got,
face.
What do you say?
Bit of a testicle face.
I could not have said it better.
Tell me you don't see it.
But can Voldemort not just like Avada Kedavra him?
Yeah, well, again, We might have done Harry Potter versus like Luke Skywalker or something, and this is where it becomes tricky because again, it's that sort of nerd thing of like the Force could definitely stop a spell, and it's like, well, it doesn't matter because you'd never actually know. So like, it's kind of hard to discuss. But however, I feel like the Force couldn't stop a spell, but much like remember when the old wrinkly fuck from those movies, what's he called, the Emperor? He does his like lightning, and you can deflect it with a lightsaber. I feel like...
You think that Voldemort could be deflected by a lightsaber?
I don't know if you could deflect, but I think you could block with a lightsaber. Ooh, so it would be a skilled match because he can throw the spell and it would work, but he has to not get blocked. And I feel like Vader's gotten pretty good with the blockages. Remember in Rogue One, he's flicking it all around and blocking.
Yeah. But also, so he could block with one hand with the sword or the lightsaber, and then he's got the Force with the other hand. Have you not seen the one from? Which show is it from? I don't know. One of the latest, like
probably
Sky
Obi-Wan.
Wars. Not Sky Wars, Star Wars. Obi-Wan, where he just fucking stops the spaceship like. Poof.
Yes, but
you could absolutely just take Ralph Fiennes and crush him.
Voldemort also has the power to turn into like a big bunch of wind and like fly around with a creepy face, you know. So
what you're saying is that Voldemort is just farts.
Basically, I mean, he does have that power, and he can apparate and stuff, and he also doesn't even need to use the wand sometimes to do a spell. Like he can kind of like do general magic, which by the way is also
Big Dobby style.
Big Dobby. Also, general magic is definitely Rafe's stripper name. Anyway,
I'm gonna say Vader.
I'm leaning Vader as well because I feel like he has more paths to victory. Because like it would be a tricky one, but I feel like eventually he'd either get close enough to slash. He has at least a means of blocking Rafe's attacks, where Rafe, I don't know if he could do anything about the Force. I'm going to have to go with...
Whereas I think Rafe is completely useless.
I'm going to have to go with a cheeky Darth.
Ooh, cheeky Darth. All right. Let me think here. All right. I'm going to go the sister who is large and very strong from Encanto versus Hercules.
Okay. Well, Hercules
because she
is
can lift like a house.
God, Hercules can lift many houses. Are we talking final end of movie Hercules? A Star is Born song playing Hercules? Fully trained? Buff as fuck? Yeah, obviously Herc.
Do you think so?
Hercules would absolutely demolish her. What's she gonna do? Nothing.
I don't know. She's strong.
She's strong.
I don't know. Maybe you're not giving her enough credit.
Monsters that are stronger. Herc's fought gods. Herc had a training montage.
What's she done? Nothing.
She lifts a bunch of like donkeys. I feel like this is a no-brainer. I feel like Herc would have run through.
All right. I was gonna say Herc as well. I just want to hear your take.
I feel like Herc would snap her. It just gets really intense. I feel like Herc would just fucking demolish her.
All right. So we're giving it to Herc.
I have a what I like to call the McKelloff.
Ooh.
We're doing Gandalf versus Venkman. No, versus Magneto.
Ooh, the McKelloff.
A little McKelloff, a little double Ian here. Magneto's powers generally wouldn't be super useful because I don't think Gandalf carries any metal on him. Although he might have like some jewelry and shit.
Might have a lot of very high metal concentration in his blood.
Actually, that's true. He could also have a Prince Albert. He seems like the type.
My name's Gandalf, and I've got a Prince Albert.
It's in the shape of Frodo.
So it's to scale.
He's like limping around, just
wherever Gandalf walks. You know why he's got that long robe?
Yeah, they're like Gandalf. Why
if you
so
look
slow?
back on his footprints, there's 2 sets of feet, and then there's just one long smudge along the road.
He just has the actual Frodo attached there via a ring.
Imagine that the power of the most powerful ring is that whenever you put the ring on, you suddenly just are on Gandalf's genitalia.
God, this pod is
just swinging like low-hanging fruit. Anyways.
Absolute shit. But also, can I be honest? And I think there might be some stuff in the Hobbit movies where he like shoots some magic shit or whatever. What does Gandalf ever actually do, like magic-wise? Like,
he once brought out the sun when he became Gandalf the White.
Like, that's just kind of nature, though. He just stood in the right place. You know what I mean? The sun was going to rise anyway. He just had good timing. Like, what does he actually... Like, I know he fights that big fire demon or whatever, but, like, he's kind of just, like, a vague tussle. Like, he's, like, clearly has something. But,
I do think Gandalf is very much hyped up.
Well,
when
give me, like, an actual ability. What's an actual thing that he's, like...
I mean, he breaks rocks quite easily when he smashes his staff in them.
I guess. Would that help him against the other McKellen?
I don't know. The thing is, without any iron or metal, which there isn't a lot of, will he win?
I guess, where are we fighting? Are we fighting... we could be in Middle Earth.
We're fighting in a metal factory.
We're fighting in a car manufacturing facility. We're fighting in a knife store, I think. Just Gandalf teleport there in its whole, like, Middle Earth car. It's like, oh, this is kind of strange, and just 100 knives
then just
fly into him.
John Wick style with the knife throwing.
But we have seen Magneto can access the metals in the earth, right? Like the ores and stuff, which I assume are probably in Middle Earth as well. Plus, in the whole Hobbit thing, they have, like, is gold...
They got swords and stuff.
Is gold metal? Can that be... I mean, I know it's metal. Is it, like... I guess it's not magnetic. My science knowledge is really... showing a lacking here. I feel like because of the vagueness of the Gandalf, I feel like I can more picture... Also, didn't he... No, I guess he didn't die. We've only seen one of them die, to be fair.
That is true.
I guess the thing about Gandalf is he doesn't show an exact power, but he just has this, like, kind of vague, he's got I'm gonna win energy.
He's got this aura. Yeah, he's got this aura of just, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, like and plus he does that big charge in the final battle when he runs with his stick.
Frodo.
And he could whack him with that stick a bit. Yeah, he's mostly wood based. I'm gonna go Gandalf.
All right, I think I'll also go Gandalf.
Wow, we really switched in like 10 seconds there.
Like, Magneto can manipulate the earth. Gandalf got that. Gandalf's all wood.
We talked for like 5 minutes straight about why Magneto would win. We're like, wait a minute. He does have a wooden staff, though, and he does run at the end.
He's got that winner's attitude.
He's got that winner's vibe about him. He's got that dog in him, you know?
The greatest fucking turnaround.
When Gandalf sees red, no can defend.
When Gandalf sees red, that sounds like an XXX rated Gandalf movie. That moment when Frodo gets stuck in the washing machine.
Gandalf, what are you doing?
What are you doing, Stepdalf?
Oh, Jesus. It's the worst thing you've ever said. Go ahead.
Okay, here's a question. Of all the people to be stuck in a washing machine in the Lord of the Rings universe, is it not definitely Samwise Gamgee?
I think it'd be Saruman the Wise.
Oh my god. Fucking, what is his name? Christopher
Waltz, I was about to say. Christopher Lee.
Imagine old man Christopher Lee in full Saruman cosplay. Stuck in a washing machine. And then you just hear the light ticking of a staff coming behind.
I feel like we should do a whole episode of this franchise. Which character is most likely to get stuck in the washing machine? All right, let's see here. Oh, actually, it's your turn. Actually, let's do one more each. How about that?
One more each. Okay. Let's see here. We're gonna do all three Will Smiths from Gemini Man.
Okay.
Versus.
For fuck's sake.
Versus John Wick.
Okay, so we have Old Man Smith, two young Smiths versus John Wick.
Yeah.
And I guess Smith is he a trained assassin in that movie again? I think he is.
I don't know. I feel like he's a pretty special boy.
He's some kind of that's how he's described. He has so many skills. He's a pretty special boy, I guess. I think John Wick takes that pretty handedly. Because we've seen him take on like multiple people at once, and I would say they were tougher opponents.
Trained assassins as well.
Yeah. And no offense, the older Will Smith, I feel, would be dealt with pretty fast.
Pretty swiftly. And then the young Will Smith as well.
Yeah. And then it's just two, like, kind of average Joes. Like.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I agree. John Wick would fuck him up.
Yeah. Last one here. Chris from Get Out.
Okay.
Versus, I can't remember her name, but the main lead from Ready or Not. Which, by the way, I don't know if I've told you, I did watch the other day.
What did you say?
I don't know if I told you. I did actually watch it.
I saw it on your letterbox.
Yes, we'll have to discuss probably next time.
Absolutely.
But basically, two people in vaguely similar situations. In a situation where their lovers' families are trying to kill them. Now, initially you're thinking Chris. He doesn't really come against that much adversity. He kind of just like runs through all of them. Like he gets like stabbed a little, but he basically goes through like 8 people. But also, I feel like the woman in Ready or Not was up against more. Like they all had like shotguns and and she toughs through some nasty shit.
She does tough through some awful things. However, like in terms of a one-on-one fist fight between the two.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a little... We don't want to get into, like, Daniel Kaluuya beating up a woman. I don't think we really want to get into that territory. But, okay, maybe if not in a fight, maybe... How about this? Okay. In an escape-off. Like, they're both in a situation, the same kind of Ready or Not, get-out-ish situation. Who's escaping first and less harmed? Because I think if you put the Ready or Not woman in Get Out, I think she does just as well as Chris.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think I don't like because Chris has got not to discredit her, but Chris is he takes a serious beating.
No, you're right. And she
gets
does
clobbered and stuff like that.
She does kind of accidentally herself out of a lot of things, and she does have help as well.
She does have luck on her side.
Actually, yeah, she loses basically if she doesn't have the help of Jess's ex-boyfriend. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. That was a nonsense statement I made there.
No, I think we're gonna have to give that one to Kaluuya.
Probably, but they're both badasses.
They are both very badass.
I'm a big fan of both. Well, there you go. All right, that's Versus Part 5 in the books.
Ooh.
Now it is time for
the Timecodes.
Okay, this is from Sunday, by the way, so if any new Timecodes come out since then. However, we do finally, I feel like this is almost a resolution Cnews that we have here. Because a while back we were speculating, why is Cruz always in England? All the time, forever. Always in Britain, just being a lad. Why is this? Well, we have a bunch of headlines here from Daily Mail, Geo.
Tom Cruise murder basement found in England.
We finally have the answer. Tom Cruise kills 40 British people a year for sport? No. From International, The News, Daily Mail, Mirror, and Geo.tv. Just a series of headlines here that paint a real picture. Tom Cruise reveals he loves spending time in Britain because, quote, everyone is so pleasant. Tom Cruise discusses his love for Britain as he says it's just like he's seen in movies. And Tom Cruise speaks of his love for Britain. It is breathtaking. So Cruise is loving it out here. I mean, I'm not going to insult our British viewers, but I would say there are places that are nicer than Britain in the world, i.e. Denmark. But that might just be... Oh, yeah, I have some more quotes here from the Daily Mail article. He enjoys relaxing here and has found everyone he has met to be, quote, well-mannered. He said, everyone is pleasant and will give you a nod or say hello without crowding you. I was brought up to be well-mannered, and you really get that in Britain. I also like the fact that I'm walking the same streets as Shakespeare, Dickens, and even the Beatles. That is really cool. I guess I am an Anglophile. I spend a lot of time in Britain, and that's not just for work reasons. I just love being here. Wow, so Cruise...
I mean, wholesome Cruise moment, I won't lie, but at the same time, kind of a weird fixation.
But also, why you got such a Britain boner, Cruise? What's up with that? I mean, yeah.
Just walking down the street, oh my god, this is where Shakespeare lived.
I mean, yeah, a wholesome Cruise, I guess. Good for you, Britain. Apparently, Cruise likes you.
Biggest dub possible.
Yeah, honestly. That's the best mark any country could carry. We're going to jump into some announcements real quick from the pod posted yesterday. Let's see some comments here.
I saw a comment that made me very upset.
Oh boy. Josie says the classmates that rolled their eyes when BHL said he loved Top Gun Maverick don't deserve to talk about cinema. They are the definition of what a joke. Just to be clear, I didn't actually see anyone rolling their eyes. Everyone in that class is very lovely, and I'm sure they agreed with me. I just felt like I could sense some of the more possibly pretentious ones being like, oh, this guy. But generally speaking, there are some lovely people in there. There was actually a very, I don't know, just a nutty moment. Some of my friends in that class, they're like really into Breaking Bad, and then we were like out on a night out, and just the entire night, like no matter how drunk we were, like where we ended up, like even in the club, they just kept throwing Breaking Bad references out, and it was very enjoyable. But
very delightful.
NMS responds saying, there's a great clip on YouTube where Paul Thomas Anderson talks about how he was disowned in film school for saying that Terminator 2 was great and was the kind of movie Hollywood needed more of. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to call myself the next Paul Thomas Anderson.
Because that guy's a loser. I'm striving for greater things.
Jaden says, did you know that during the filming of the Maelstrom scene in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, Gore Verbinski was I can see where this is going. Gore Verbinski was struggling to get enough water to make the scene as convincing as it could be. It got so bad that Johnny Depp locked himself in his trailer and wouldn't come out until the issue was fixed. To solve this issue, Verbinski called in Freddy to stand above the set on a rig next to 3 heaters and sweat buckets upon buckets down upon the cast. Afterwards, Verbinski thanked Freddy for saving the film and for being such a sweaty boy. That is...
what is this?
I am so happy. I feel like this is a yin to the yang of my Pinocchio nose.
Your nose comments, my sweat comments.
I really appreciate this, Jaden. Thank you. True story, by the way. Ask Gore.
This did happen.
That's great. ZJ says, Thor Love and Thunder, what a middling, mediocre, average movie picture. True. Daniel at the Movie says, another really great, enjoyable episode. Keep up the great work. And we need more university stories, BHL and Freddy. Well, we've got a few more years here, so we'll keep them coming. Anson has an anime recommendation for Freddy and maybe Benedict too. Hell no. No. Very heavily recommend Spy X Family.
I have heard good things.
It takes at least 6 episodes. But by the time episode 2 of the show is over, I was already obsessed. Super funny, really well animated, has sparse but excellent action, some genuinely high stakes. Best thing by far is that titular family dynamic. The sheer wholesomeness in their journey of learning to love each other brings me joy so immense that it's genuinely overwhelming. I would definitely describe aspects of it as nutty. Well, this sounds like... Also, I hate the word that like nutty has kind of been embedded in other people's vocabularies besides ours. But that sounds like a pretty good shout, especially for you. That sounds like all the things you love: a wholesome family dynamic, some cool action, some very well animated, funny nuttiness. It sounds like
funny nuttiness.
Sounds like not a bad one.
I have had my sights on it for a little bit. I think I'm soon done with the anime I'm currently watching, so I might have to hit it.
Well, yeah, thank you, Ensign. And he also recommends Andor. He said, I know you haven't been too keen on the most recent Star Wars shows, BHL, but I think you might actually really enjoy the new Andor one. Basically, it's better dialogue, plot, character detail, more methodical and immersive pace to it. Darkest mainstream Star Wars thing. The opening scene literally has the protagonist murdering 2 police officers just outside a brothel.
Very cool.
That's interesting because I was going to watch it, and then... Because I'm kind of busy now in uni, I was sort of like, I got other things to sort of do. So I've put it off. But I did hear, like, the concept didn't interest me at all when I heard it, and Cassian Andor from Rogue One, like a character I didn't really care about much. And so I was like, it's another one of these kind of just random character, let's make a spin-off. But I had heard things that it was different and more like a real show, I guess you could say, than some of the other Star Wars ones. So that's actually, this comment might push me over the edge to give it a try. Because I was thinking about it, I just sort of like pushed it off, but... That's fair enough. Okay. Thank you for the recommendations, Anson. We really appreciate it. Let's see. I don't think there's anything on the fan page, in which case I will have to unfollow. Let's see. There is not, but hey, all good. Let me see. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. So, thank you so much for watching this episode or listening to this episode. If you enjoyed and are listening on YouTube, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and leave a comment down below what you thought of this episode, who you think would win in each of the matchups, and maybe other matchups you'd like to hear in the future, and what you thought of the pod in general. If you want to listen somewhere else, I guess. I don't know if that was the right transition.
Don't know why you would, you fucking loser.
We are on YouTube, but we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You should just follow and subscribe and leave nice things everywhere, honestly. Absolutely. But you can leave a 5-star rating and a nice review, and tell everyone you love in the world that you love them, but also that our pod is great.
Absolutely.
You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com. I'm also on TikTok at BHL Hudson and Letterboxd at RealBHL You can also email the pod at vids@gmail.com. I just did that.
By the way, you can also email the pod.
And by the way, I'm also on TikTok at BHL Hudson.
Just stuck in limbo. You can find me on Twitter at FTK_DaltSniper. You can find me on Instagram at Fidalgard, on Letterboxd at FTK_Thwilms, and on YouTube at FTK_Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Venkman.